The King of the Hill reboot has to be one of the worst type of media possible. It's the type of show that has a lot of good in it, but because it has so many good elements, you'll get discredited as a conspiracist if you start noticing. The noticing in this case is not hard to do. It's really obvious how bad things are. The bad moments are somewhat spaced out, but when things get bad, they get really bad. I can break down in two parts my issues with the new show. My number one issue is what I call the acceptance and non-resolution. The characters are not only true to themselves, but react in ways that most of the audience would also react. Hank doesn't like the lack of efficiency, weird habits of people, and the terrible traffic laws. Boy oh boy is going to have a fit when he learns about 15-minute cities. The problems in modern society are clearly called out, and the reactions of the cast line up with how we remember them, but no resolution comes off it. When Peggy and Hank come back to Harlan, they are distraught by the state of what their city has become, and in an ironic twist, Saudi Arabia was more American than America itself. One episode ends with a Girl Scout clearly about to chastise Hank about the previous name of the cookies he liked. He just brushes it off and accepts what is clearly a modern mandate because the episode is about to end, and tries to talk about said cookies to someone coming out of the store. They bond over their love of power tools and cookies, but this moment doesn't work. It's like every other instance in the show. Something is clearly wrong, there's an injection of modernity, but this time he just gives it up. The man he talks to doesn't know what to make of the new name and simply brushes it off. They want to make you think that everything is alright, nothing has changed, but that's not quite the case. Clearly, even a traditional place like Texas has been affected by modernity. While most of the people haven't changed, the older conservatives and the normie, it's clear that A, the young are being changed by the reach of the media, and B, mandates are being injected into the region. The show has this habit of presenting an issue and then just going, yeah, that's okay. It reminds me of the show Shameless. The guy who plays Cal met with LGBT people, you know who I mean. They explain their usual nonsense about identity and pronouns, and he makes fun of them. In the end though, they're never really confronted about how weird they are or how their ideology doesn't make sense. It's just presented as cool. God forbid we actually critique these people. I'll quote Hank, "Weird is not a culture," end quote. And giving space to these people is not good. Not even an inch, because they end up taking a mile. My second issue with the show is that it presents actors in a way that doesn't really represent who they are in real life. Bobby's new girlfriend, Willow, or whatever her name is a vegan with a nose piercing, an undercut, the mental disease haircut, who makes her own soap from recycled grease. Somehow she's really good at football and thinks open relationships are dumb. Really? Of all people, you would think it would be her and not Connie who would behave this way. She definitely looks the part with the purple hair. The writers show that they're aware of certain archetypes, but not how they actually play out. It makes me think they got that information secondhand and didn't put it into question, or it's a self-insert. I'm a cringe woke vegan, but I'm still cool though. If this is how the season starts, then I'm not looking forward to the rest. It's frustrating to see issues being brought up, ignored, and realities being poorly represented. I mean, the Japanese black guy, really? Even half Japanese people are not considered Japanese. Look at my poor boo, Naomi Osaka. So how would a guy who was adopted discriminate like that? Yes, he could indeed identify as Japanese, but he would be bullied into oblivion and would never be accepted. He would have to understand the value of someone who wants to identify, belong, and respect a culture. By the end of the episode, they're on good terms and he's not challenged more on his ideology. Said way of life making no fucking sense at all. This guy is worse than Uncle Ruckus. It's a pretty good new season, characters behave like they always did, and when the jokes hit, they really hit hard. I really love the conversation Hank was having with his old boss from Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately, there's a fair dose of modernity that's injected into it, and I know how these things pan out. Yeah, the normie, the average person, they never see step 1. For them, when the infection is under a certain level, they're not able to notice it, and will attack anyone who makes them notice. Despite the fact that we've had a good 10, well, you could even say 60 years of Marxist political injection into our media, they've shown us from beginning to end multiple times the steps that they take to corrupt a show or any piece of media, and King of the Hill is no exception. So I don't know why, outside of Cope, you wouldn't want to accept that this show is doomed.